That's right, you sons of guns. I got my Justin Fields jersey. You see the link below. You can get one too. Chatsports.com/Fields1. I've been waiting. Guys, these jerseys are now shipping within a couple of days. I ordered mine last week. Get one right now, chatsports.com/Fields1. Of course, I'm your host, Harrison Graham, as always, and yes, we're here to talk some Bears football. Speaking of Justin Fields, Matt Nagy was asked about the progression of his rookie quarterback and specifically asked about comparing him to Patrick Mahomes because, of course, we have to compare everybody to Patrick Mahomes today. And obviously, there's some relevance because Nagy was on that Chiefs staff when Mahomes was a rookie, and Nagy said he's at a similar place in development where Patrick Mahomes was when he was a rookie. And of course, Bears Twitter freaked out and said, oh, you're putting too much pressure on the kid. He's going to be the next Mahomes. It's like, no, like he just said that when Mahomes was a rookie. By the way, he wasn't ready to play as a rookie. That's about where Fields is now. He's impressing, he's flashing, but he's still certainly learning as a young quarterback. And remember, Mahomes didn't play until week 17 of his rookie season. Guys, context matters. Matt Nagy did not go up there and say, Justin Fields is going to be the next Patrick Mahomes. That just did not happen. So we gotta be thinking of these things with full context and with full relevance and just kind of listen to what they're actually saying when they say these things. I thought Lester Wiltfong from WC Gridiron put it very nicely on Twitter, so I thought I'd throw his tweet up of, quote, some of you guys are taking this as Nagy saying Fields is going to be at an MVP level like Mahomes is, when in fact he's comparing his quarterback to another quarterback that wasn't ready to play as a rookie after being asked via Zoom to compare whether the two quarterbacks were through a couple of days of minicamp. Guys, we're very early on in the pressing, obviously, or in the process here. Obviously, Fields, he's impressing. He's done some nice things. He's had the right work attitude and work ethic and attitude. There's no doubt about that. And I'm as eager as you are to watch him play. Guys, I got his jersey, for goodness sake. You don't think I'm fired up about Justin Fields? But let's not just say, oh, he's the next Mahomes because someone specifically asked him a comparison to Mahomes question. Matt Nagy answered this properly. He's talking about where the two guys were as rookies, and the rest is history. We'll obviously see what the future holds for Justin Fields. I do anticipate it will be a very, very bright future. How many games will Fields start this year? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I think it'll be over half the season. I think he could start as early as week 4 or 5. I don't think he'll be your week 1 starter, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with Justin Fields. Subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/BearsNow. We're putting out videos every single day for you guys. We have the latest Bears news, rumors, a lot of minicamp stuff going on this week, so we've been keeping you guys up to date on that. And obviously, training camp, preseason, regular season, it'll all be here very, very quickly. So subscribe, share that link with a friend. It's youtube.com/BearsNow. Let's talk Kindle Vildor here on Chicago Bears Now at Chat Sports as minicamp continues on here. It's wrapping up today on Thursday. Matt Nagy has been very impressed with the young quarterback. He said he is, quote, flashing in camp, and multiple media members who were there at Hallis Hall at these practices have also said the same thing, that Kindle Vildor has been a guy that's really, really stood out, and that's a good thing because CB2 and nickel are very much up for grabs. This is a great sign for the Chicago Bears. Now, it's early, it's minicamp. How much does this really matter? Not a ton, but I think for young guys it matters more than for veterans, for example. Like Allen Robinson, if he just wanted to show up week 1, I wouldn't really have any concerns. But a guy like Kindle Vildor, he needs these reps. He got some reps late last season, made a couple of starts, week 17 and the playoff game as well. 2 starts if you count the playoffs, but regular season just 1. Held his own, did okay for a 5th-round pick out of Georgia Southern. And I think now, as you look forward, you're saying, hey, if he can push a guy like Desmond Trufant and maybe have a chance to start, that's good development. That's good progression here for Kindle Vildor at a position that, quite frankly, is very questionable, in my opinion, on this roster. Will Kindle Vildor start this year? Type Y for yes, type N for no. If he does, that means one of 2 things. 1, he's been really impressive, or 2, a guy like Desmond Trufant just hasn't been good. So get your votes in. Y for yes, N for no. Will Vildor start this year? I'd be fine with it because if you found a starting cornerback in Kindle Vildor in the 5th round, that means you got 2 corners from last year's draft that are starters. We know Jaylon Johnson is a starting cornerback in this league. The problem is, after him, the CB depth chart is very much in flux. We don't really know who's going to emerge. Vildor is impressed so far. You've got young guys like Duke Shelley, Thomas Graham. We'll see if the vet Artie Burns pushes Trufant at all this offseason. But all I know is young guys performing well in these type of camps, obviously more importantly in training camp, that's a good thing. That's what you want to see from a guy going from his rookie season to his second season. Like, you want to see these guys take a jump, and Vildor getting those reps late last year was great. Sean Desai has spoken highly on him a couple of times this offseason, and now Matt Nagy said, hey, this is a guy that's really flashed during minicamp. So we'll see what happens. I think he could have a chance to start at nickel. We'll see if he's in the mix at CB2. The good thing is, while I don't love how the Bears sit at cornerback overall, they have a lot of bodies. So if 1 or 2 of these guys emerge, then you're pretty much set because you have Jaylon Johnson as well. Now, I think Kindle Vildor could be a guy that could break out, but name a player that you think will break out for the Bears this season. Hopefully they get some breakouts at the cornerback position. Hopefully some guys on offense at wide receiver and tight end, Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney, take that next step as well. Name a player that you believe will break out this year for the Chicago Bears. Now, I'm repping my Justin Fields jersey because how could I not? This bad boy came in the mail yesterday, but I want to share the wealth. I want you guys to get a Fields jersey as well. They're shipping for free. They're shipping quickly now because they've got enough jerseys printed with our partners Fanatics. Go to that link below, chatsports.com/Fields1, and it's not just the orange one. I personally like orange the best, but we've got the navy Fields jerseys as well. You've got the white ones. I think the road whites are a very, very clean look. I almost got that one. I settled on the orange one because, hey, it pops. Orange is just a great, great look. Chatsports.com/Fields1. Get yourself a Justin Fields jersey today. And if you get one, send me some pictures on Twitter at HGramNFL of you repping your Bears Justin Fields jersey. And, hey, maybe we'll put them on a future show here on Chicago Bears Now. One more note at minicamp. Eddie Goldman, not in attendance. Not great. Not a big fan of this, that Goldman has not been there in person because he opted out last year due to COVID-19. And so now, the last time, and by the way, Matt Nagy made it clear that this was an unexcused absence. It's a mandatory minicamp, so Goldman does not have a family commitment or anything like that going on that we know of. We haven't seen Eddie Goldman play football since December 22nd of 2019. I'm officially concerned. I'll be honest. I have concerns here because you're talking about a guy that plays nose tackle. I mean, for all we know, he's, 375 pounds and just way out of shape. I don't know what Eddie Goldman's been up to the past 15, 18 months. I hope he's been working out. I hope he's eager to play football, but him not showing up kind of tells me that maybe he's not that eager to play football. I mean, last time we saw him in 2019, he was a very good run stuffer. He's never been a huge stats guy altogether because he's more of a run defender, but he eats up blockers. His impact is definitely felt when he plays. I thought this Bears run defense suffered fairly tremendously last year without him out there. So if he, A, either doesn't play or B, shows up and isn't the same guy, I think there's cause for concern here that we haven't seen or even heard from Eddie Goldman. Now, there's been communication between him and the Bears. It's not like they don't know where he is, but the fact that he's not there in person, I'm pretty worried. I'll be honest with you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Are you concerned about Eddie Goldman's absence? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. Get your votes in. Clearly, I'm typing my 1 for yes. Because if he's in there, this defensive line can be really, really good. I mean, you got Akeem Hicks, Eddie Goldman, Bilal Nichols, who really emerged last year. I like bringing back Mario Edwards Jr. He's a good player. Kyrus Tonga, I think, is a sneaky 7th-round pick that could make the roster. Angelo Blackson was a good free agency signing. You go 5-6 deep here if Goldman is there, but if he's not, it's kind of the domino effect, and other guys have to step up. The good news is Bilal Nichols, in Goldman's absence last year, really took a step forward as a defensive lineman. He can play that D-end position in the 3-4 scheme. He can play nose tackle. So if he's forced into action, we know he can play that nose tackle spot. But imagine him and Goldman on that defensive line opposite of Akeem Hicks. That could be very, very deadly for the Chicago Bears. I'm not saying I don't think Goldman can get back and be effective, but I'm concerned that we haven't seen the guy play football in a year and a half at this point. I don't think that's too outlandish to say. Now, we're about to sign off here on Chicago Bears Now, but if you love what we do, if you're a big fan of what you saw on today's video, then I encourage you guys, subscribe. YouTube.com/Bears Now. That's the link to share with a friend. Just hit that big red button for everyone watching right now. We'll see you very, very soon here on Bears Now.